Hey guys, so I thought I'd just start off by looking at Nvidia. This one really popped off, and I did make a couple adjustments to the chart. I recorded a video before, but just it didn't go the way I wanted it to. So the lines have been kind of adjusted because of that earlier video. So we're just going to kind of catch up and essentially redo the video because the other one just didn't go as planned. So looking at Nvidia, this is a stock that I originally had a short position in, and I had to close that out because it's just getting the uptrend is too powerful in this one. I would have thought with the economy kind of just all the negative things about the Fed rate keeps rising, all of a sudden the banks start closing. I thought these things would negatively impact not just this company but pretty much the market, but apparently not enough for this one. Uh, I, the reason for the big surge, from what I'm hearing, is that uh, the investors that follow this stock the closest, the semiconductor industry analysts, the experts in this field of semiconductors, it's come to their attention that not just Nvidia but the whole semiconductor industry, that most of those stocks with that previously uh, oversupply of inventory, it's starting to run out, and which is a good thing. They had this buildup of inventory, but now it's starting to decrease, which means production can kick back up, which means they can increase their gross margin percentage. Like, all these things were positive because now they can once again begin the building process of new chips, which means customers will buy the new chips, and because of that, the gross margin goes up, and uh, pretty much what I just said. So that news skyrocketed this stock along with others. So fortunately, I guess for me, is I am invested in like AMD and these other stocks. So those increases in those stocks potentially countered the losses that I was taking in this one. Uh, So yeah, I did end my short position. I closed that position in this stock because it just was getting too risky for me, because again, this one just continues to climb higher, and originally we did see that there was an uptrend. It's just at the time this line was originally marked red, so I thought that was going to be kind of like the break point. I thought Nvidia was going to stop there, and it did kind of hang out there for a couple weeks. It went a little bit higher, but then pulled right back. So I wasn't too worried. And then all of a sudden, this news comes out right around the time the banking industry kind of is well known to be collapsing. At least the regional small banks are. And for me not to be paying close enough attention to this individual stock, but really just the market in general. Hearing that news, I figured a lot of stocks, including this one, which I kind of was most nervous about or excited about, I thought for sure this one's going to pull back really hard, and then I can convert my sell slash short position into a buy position once it maybe pulled down to like 192. I thought that was going to be the perfect change where I could uh, close out my short position and then actually buy into it, because that was always the plan. The plan was to buy Nvidia because I know how innovative they are and can really kind of help industries, especially in AI and the electrical vehicles. Just they have a lot of segments within their business that are really popular with today and how the economy is growing in general. So there was no doubt in my mind how good this company can be. It's just I thought uh, I'd be able to kind of capitalize in the short term, make some money, and then catch it on the uptrend, which clearly I just missed it. I missed it by a long shot, I would say. So, um, and then yeah, the news broke that uh, their inventory levels are going to start uh, becoming more efficient. is the best way to put it. And when that news came out, everyone just bought it. So I will say, when I look at this, so on Yahoo, they'll show you this PE ratio, this price to earnings ratio, and this is crazy high. And like, I realize Nvidia has crazy growth, so it that does match. But I can tell you, whenever I was following this one, like over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I felt like they were overpriced at like 50 to 60. Like, I maybe at one point they were in the 70s, but a PE ratio of like 50 to 60, that seemed to be where it hung out. And to see it right now at about 110, I think a lot of people are going to see that and sell it because it is so overpriced. That said, I don't know what it was about 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was at like 70 or 80 even at that point. Uh, I'm not sure if I can go back and check that. I'm sure there's a way. I'm not going to go into it now. Maybe off camera I'll look into it. But so I truly believe it's definitely overpriced for today, especially just going off of that one bit of news. So I do think it's going to pull back to the price points that I thought. Probably not, but time will tell. But either way, I did close out, and it's just kind of my habits, I guess. Um, I definitely probably closed the position at the worst possible time. But then again, if this one keeps climbing, uh, I'll be happy that I got out of it when I did. And I'll just either way, I'll take that loss, move on, try to just be better going forward. But that's kind of where it stands. If I was looking into buying into this position, because I just have no interest in shorting this one anytime soon, it would probably be if this can pull back to like within the 230s, even like 240. I'd probably start a position, the, a buy position in this one, and just begin kind of accumulating stocks as I can, and hope this uptrend kind of lasts a little bit longer so that I can, get back some of the money I lost in the short position. But that's just kind of how I'm seeing it. If I So I will just kind of update these lines again for us. So that would be like a buy point now because, again, when I drew this in, uh, it was a sell point originally because back in like third quarter 2021, it did act as resistance. Um, and then it also kind of acted as support back here in the first quarter of 22. So that's kind of what we're looking at now, especially in the uptrend, is that is more so a support line. So I think this one does have potential to come back to about the 230 mark. And if it does, that's probably going to be the time that I add. If it drops lower, great, then I'll add more. Again, that'll suck in just for the fact that I closed out the short position at arguably a bad time because I couldn't bear the risk anymore. Uh, but yeah, I'm just kind of bearing my losses here for you so that we can see the pain of a bad decision and we'll just move forward with this together. So if we pull up my spreadsheet, probably look at an index here next, but if we go to the semiconductor, so we have Nvidia in here. I'm saying if it can pull back to like 237, I'd probably open a position in the buy point. I just have no interest in selling this one. This one is one of those. Um, I don't want to call them a unicorn stock, but they're just one of those ones that they're not like Tesla, but in a way that you can see rapid growth in it. They seem to have that ability, and so I just have no interest in selling this one or shorting it anytime soon, especially given that big loss I had. But that's kind of how I'm seeing it right now. I do expect this one to sell off a little bit. Once again, that's basing that off the PE ratio being so high. I think a more realistic one would be closer to like the 60 mark. I don't know where it would have to fall to get back to 60, but again, it was a different time when I was looking at it like 2 years ago in the 60s. So um, maybe that's not a realistic number anymore. Maybe this one has so much growth in front of it in terms of their new deals with like Microsoft and stuff that maybe the new P ratio kind of mark that you want to look for, maybe it is 110 now. And if you get it well above that, like into 130, maybe that's a signal that we want to like sell out of it. Or if it pulls back to 80, maybe that's like an optimal time to buy it. Either way, uh, that's just how I'm calling it now. Hopefully, it can pull back into like the 230s, and that would kind of be a point of interest for me. At least buying one or two shares just to start off on the right foot with this one. And again, if it does fall back more, we'll just add more to that. But that's how I'm seeing it. Um, and so we'll just take it from there. So let me just show this one more time. So we have NVIDIA up here. Um, by all means, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know how you're seeing it. Did I mess up on closing the position now? Was that like, honestly, I realized that was probably the worst time for me to close it, but again, it was just very risky to me. But again, let me know what you think. How would you have handled it? And yeah, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.